Believe it or not, the spaces you occupy and the people you surround yourself with have the ability to help or hinder your feminine journey. But before we discuss that, hey girl, hey, welcome back to all my homegirls. And hey, I'm Sky.Onjahnae for all of you who are new here. I make videos all about how to nurture your feminine energy, build your relationship with Christ and beauty. So if that is something you are interested in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give me some likes because that really helps my channel, and leave me a comment because I love to hear your questions, comments, concerns, all of the things. So let's get our daily dose of Jesus with our video scripture for the day, and let's jump right into this video. So we are creatures of habit. And that's been how we learned from birth. That's developed the developmental stages from birth. You pick up habits and things that you see from your family, your friends, all of that. Even in our adult lives, we still do that. So if you've ever been friends with somebody and all of a sudden you realize you're starting to have the same type of maybe accent as them or use the same lingo or have some of the same mannerisms, it's because you have been adjusted to that way of being or that way of living. So now you start to unconsciously pick up those things just because that's just how we as humans develop. So that's how you see all these different people from all these different walks of life, because that's what they've seen growing up. That's what they know. And that includes you as someone who is trying to nurture your femininity, like you, because you're on this channel watching this video. You've grown up seeing women be masculine. You've grown up in certain areas that have to make you hard. Society, especially as a Black woman, forces us out of our femininity. Maybe you grew up in a not so good neighborhood. Maybe it wasn't safe. It was dangerous. And maybe you have toxic family members, toxic friends. All of those things combined together force you into a hard shell. It forces you to be hard. And that's really your body and your mind going into protection mode because you're trying to preserve self and you're not trying to get hurt and all of those things. So for example, I am a woman, a Black woman, born and raised on the south side of Chicago. So I was technically the stereotypical Black Chicago woman. And it wasn't until I went away to college and I was around all different people from different backgrounds. And I met my best friend, Lexi. You've seen her on this channel before. And she was telling me, like, you should smile more. And I'm looking at her like, girl, like I was always a friendly person, but my outer exterior mixed with people knowing I'm from Chicago, they automatically assume things. And even though was a lot of the things they assume, once I let you in, that's when you got to see the friendly side of me. And it shouldn't be that way. I should just be a light because I am a child of God. We're here to be a light and salt of the earth. So I needed to really fix that. And it wasn't until like I said, I got in a different environment to realize that. And then I started making those necessary changes, of course, with God's help. But we made those changes, and here I am today helping you make the same changes that I made. So I'm going to help you figure out what it is that is keeping you in your masculine energy. And that could be one of three things that we're going to discuss, which I've already mentioned. But I'm going to give you tips and examples of how those things are hindering you and what you can do to cultivate a feminine space in order for you to grow and really nurture your femininity. So one, your neighborhood. If your neighborhood is loud, if it is not safe, if it is dangerous, if it doesn't look kept, like, you know how especially if you're from Chicago or if you're from any urban areas or big cities, you can see the difference of neighborhoods as you I'm sorry, that's my little kitty. She running around. But you can see the difference of the different neighborhoods as you drive through the city or through the town or whatever. And that can really affect you depending on what your space looks like. One obvious thing you can do is to move, but unfortunately I know we're all not blessed to just get up and move, especially in this economy. So what I will say is try going to more affluent areas. Maybe go have you some lunch. If you work from home, maybe instead of working at home in your living room or whatever, go out to a coffee shop or go out to a diner or somewhere where you can do some work and just really sit and enjoy the atmosphere. It's going to be something completely different than what you're used to. Get out. And I'm not saying you have to do it every single day, whatever fits your schedule. I know some of us, we may be moms, we may be busy and we have all these different lives, but find you a couple days, even if it's just one day out the week, to go experience other areas. That way you don't have to constantly be in this negative space, just constantly looking out your window, and it may be dirty or it may not be put together. Get into those different spaces so it can get you into a different mindset. It might help you want to reach new goals. It might make you want to do something to get out of what you're currently in. I don't know, but I know for me, when I go into different neighborhoods, and I don't live in a bad neighborhood, but when I go into like the really, really nice neighborhood, it just inspires me so much, and it makes me feel like, okay, I can get here. It seems more accessible to me, and it makes me just feel better, more at ease in my mind. So that's really what we want as feminine women. We want to be carefree, cautious, but we want to just not have worry. We want to just be able to be existing and beautiful, and yeah. So get into different spaces as often as you can, but again, it's something that fits into your schedule. Another thing could be your actual living situation. Like, you may live in a house full of people. You may live in an apartment building that's full of people. You may be around toxic people in your household. Your household might not look the best. It might be bland. It might be boring. It may not fit your personality. These are all things that can hinder your feminine growth. So, like I mentioned, with living in a bad neighborhood or a not so kept neighborhood, you also can get out and see the world. Go see your town. Go to new spaces. Maybe take a staycation. I like to do that from time to time, just to get out of the same, because I'm just someone who, I just like change, and to get out of the same, routine and the same walls. I'll take a staycation. It can be with a friend, it can be by yourself. Either way, if you go somewhere outside of your neighborhood, that gives you a chance to take a couple days, spend time with yourself, spend time with God, spend time in that new town, and really reflect and clear your mind and just feel better. Along with, like I said, and with the neighborhood, you can just go take a day and spend it in another neighborhood. And also, for both of these, really soak it in, because you do have to go back home. But once you really soak in, don't rush the process. Just sit there, enjoy, look at what's going on. That's part of what femininity is about, is really taking things in, slow moving, slow living, really appreciating God's creation, okay? Because He made everything. So really sitting and appreciating and taking it all in, so you have the inspiration, so you have the motivation, so your mind can clear. Also, beautify your space. Find you a space in your place where that can only be for you. See, men have men caves. Women, we deserve spaces too of our own. So especially if you're in a house full of people, and you might still live with your parents, you might have roommates, anything. Find you a space and decorate it and make it your own. And that's really going to spark your femininity, because we as feminine women, we are creative. That is one of the words. That is a characteristic of being a feminine woman. I mentioned this in another video, which you can watch that. I'll link it up here once you finish watching this one. But when you look at a man's space versus a woman's space, there's a clear difference. Women put more time and effort into creating a beautiful space, while men, their living room might have a couch and a TV, and that might be it, maybe a lamp, So we are born creative. We create life. We create homes. We create an atmosphere of peace and quiet and gentle and all of that. So really beautify your space and get creative with it so that it fits your personality. That's something I'm actually actually just did with my room. I just revamped it. I got a new bed. I got a cute rug. Pink is my favorite color because my motto is make it pink and make it pink quickly. So even this wall right here behind me, I have the Lord's Prayer, and I have this picture that's, I don't know if you can see it, but it says the boss, because what? I am a boss. But yes, beautify your space and really get those creative juices flowing, and that'll really help boost your femininity and your feminine energy and just make you feel better. Create an atmosphere that makes you feel good. And next is your female friends. Now, they could be very masculine. They curse a lot. They fight. They go they go out clubbing all the time. They are not the woman that you see yourself being. Sis, cut them off. And I'm not saying cut all of your friends off unless that's what you and God discuss and that's what he tells you to do, then you go ahead and do it. But the ones that are absolutely not serving you and elevating you and emulating the woman that you want to be, don't even go there. Distance yourself from them. And in general, distance yourself from the friends that may not be on the same path as you, but they're not completely far off. So for those friends, just give yourself a little distance. That's something that I had to do with my friends when I started my feminine energy. That's something I had to do when I started my feminine journey, because my friends were not in the same mindset and on the same path as me in that moment. So I wasn't sitting up on the phone talking to them all night. I wasn't involving them in the things that I was doing just because this is my journey, and I don't need any outside thoughts or comments or concerns or questions. I only needed me and Jesus, okay? So give yourself healthy space. That's not saying don't talk to your friends, don't hang out with your friends, but talk to them if the conversation is going to be meaningful. Like if they want to gossip, all right, hey, I'm going to talk to you later. If they want to talk about elevating and maturing and growing, absolutely continue the conversation. If they want to go out and everyone trying to go clubbing, or they're trying to do something that doesn't align with the woman that you want to be, maybe suggest something different. Either way, try to give healthy space between you and those friends so that they won't hinder your growth, because obviously at the time you all became friends because you all had similarities. But now as we grow and as we evolve and become better women of God and feminine women, we start to change. We're changing. So the same things don't appeal to us. We don't want to do the same things, and that's how it's supposed to be. So start to distance yourself so that you can grow, and then maybe that'll show them that, hey, I like the way her life is turning around. I like the woman she's becoming. You might become an inspiration to them. And for those friends that you have to cut off, don't look at it as a friendship gone wrong, a friendship ending. Look at it as this person was not meant to go into this next phase of my life. And that's something that we really have to wrap our minds around and be okay with, because God has a plan for us regardless, and it might hurt us and we might not understand, but at the end of the day, his plan is always better because he is good and sovereign. And so we just, pray about it and ask God for guidance, but also remember that they have their own phase of life that they need to go to, that we are meant to be there either. So it's a mutual thing. Think about Lot and Abram. Lot was not meant to go with Abraham into his next phase, and vice versa. If Abram was to go with Lot to Sodom and Gomorrah, look what would have happened. But I'm getting into Bible study, and that's not what we're talking about. But just, read Genesis. It'll explain what I'm talking about with Lot and Abraham. Or if you already know, they were not meant to go in the same space. They weren't meant to go in the same phase, and they were brothers. So you and a friend, people come and go. People are not always supposed to be in your life forever. The only person who should be in your life forever is Jesus. But yes, don't take it too hard, and don't look at it as losing a friend. Just look at it as you're both growing in the way that you're supposed to be in life. So now that you know the things that could be hindering your feminine growth and your feminine journey, and learn how to cultivate a new space. Come here, baby girl. Come here, baby girl. Hey, mama. Say hey. Say hey. My baby even got a bow. Look at her. Where is it? Where's your bow, mama? Oh, she has a little bow. I'm almost done talking to your TTs. And then we can play. Okay, I'm gonna put you down. Anyway, like I was saying, now that you know how to cultivate the space for your feminine energy to grow, I pray and I hope that you actually implement these strategies and these tips, because we all know how to get things done. It's the implementation that really messes us up and keeps us in the same cycle. And that's something I'm talking to myself about, another situation, but we need to implement things and keep them in keep us out of the same cycle. But don't stop at this video. Watch more videos on my channel if you're someone who wants to learn how to grow as a woman of God, nurture your femininity, and just be a better woman overall. Watch another video, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you like this video, because like I said, that really helps me. And leave a comment. There might be tips in here that I didn't mention, and you can mention in the comments or ask questions. I love to read your comments, and I thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end of this video. And I'll see you in my next one.